Today you will learn how and why you get a New Year redo, because we know we need it. As I'm recording, it is March the 20th of 2021. It's a Saturday and it is at 2:42 a.m. because that is how my mind and body works. This video is to tell you that you get to celebrate for a week. Yay! And ideas and ways to start your new year off right if you decide to join me and claim today, or if you watch it anytime this week, or if you watch it in like 2 months and decide you need to start over, you can watch this video and do the exact same things, and my imprint of excitement will be in this video, and so you will not be alone. You'll still be supported, very supported. I've tried to take the concepts that I am incorporating and put them down into the most easily digestible concept and the most easily followed concept. So, and ring in nature's new year with a strong beginning. Ooh, you see a muscle? Be sure to watch all the way to the end of this video for instructions on how to win a jar of beautiful moon water that will bring magic into your already magical life. Also, don't be distracted by the weird strings in the back. They were lights that look like stars, and this genius forgot to turn them off, and they are battery operated. And this genius did not realize it until, she was recording at 2 a.m. What are you doing at 2 a.m.? Before we dive in, please go ahead and give a like, share, or comment. Like, share, or comment below to help my channel reach those who need the content that I'm providing. So if you made it this far, but you're like, yeah, nah, this is not my style, go ahead and like it anyway, because then it might pop up on your friend's post and they might like my style and I might be able to do something magnificent for them. Or they might be able to hear something that they really need to hear. That would be wonderful. Okay, so if you're a current subscriber, I am very honored to hold space for your magical life and very happy that you are here with me today. If you are not a current subscriber, I do encourage you to think about and consider subscribing to my channel so that you know when I put out videos, maybe random, but videos about different topics. And all you have to do is click the subscribe button below. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I do ask that you give me at least 48 business hours to look at and or respond to comments. Depending on how many I get, I may not get to all of them, but I do enjoy reading them and it makes me very excited to see them. Happy New Year! 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 Burp, burp. I forgot to pick up one of those burp, burp things. Happy New Year! Because 2020 was such a raunchy dung mound of a year for most people, except for maybe Jeff Bezos, we deserve a second chance at the start of the new year, or at the start of a new year. A second chance starting a new year. Yes. So I propose that we claim this upcoming week, the week of March 20th, 2021 to March 27th of 2021, as our real New Year celebration. I propose that we exercise our ability to celebrate new beginnings. So today is the spring equinox, and equinox literally means equal. And actually, I'm going to be correct because I don't want to leave out the southern hemisphere, but we're going to call it March equinox. And the reason why is because the northern hemisphere is going into the spring, and then the southern hemisphere is doing the opposite, and they're actually going into autumn right now. So, what I'm going to be referring to mostly will be the Northern Hemisphere. And those of you guys in the Southern Hemisphere, just keep the video and watch it on September the 22nd. Equinox means that there's going to be roughly 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of moonlight. So 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours absent of daylight. So of nighttime. But it's the most equal that they will be this whole entire year. And it's interesting to do the research to find articles that were published in magazines or ones that get at least some sort of review. And it looks like we can document the spring equinox being an important part of the year for about 3,000 years. The whole concept of this video is to tell you that you get to celebrate for a week. Yay! And ideas and ways to start your new year off right if you decide to join me and claim today, or if you watch it anytime this week, or if you watch it in like 2 months and decide you need to start over, you can watch this video and do the exact same things. And my imprint of excitement will be in this video, and so you will not be alone. People that came before us thousands of years ago, it marks the time that they are able to go and celebrate the fact that they actually made it through the winter. I propose that we take every opportunity to celebrate the fact that we have survived 2020. Societies, even though this is a really old tradition, it has been passed down and preserved pretty well from what I can tell. There are areas across the country, actually, most of the world is celebrating, most of the Northern Hemisphere is celebrating the March equinox. What I really want for us to at least contemplate on, if you don't do anything else, is just think about what a new beginning will look like for you. New means different. So keep that in mind. The world will be different. New always means different, but change is the only constant we have in this life that we're aware of. Change is promised. So we embrace the new. In order to embrace the new, the first activity that I have for you is cleansing. So in order to embrace the new, you have to put down what you're carrying. You have to put down all of the burdens of 2020. You have to set them down. If 2020 was this, and you're still holding on to it, and this red cup in front of me is 2021. And this water is the energy that gets 2021 started. I'm not able to actually embrace this cup and this water while I'm holding 2020. So put down 2020. Acknowledge that it sucked, all the ways that it sucked. Give yourself time to be upset. Feel all your feelings. So I'm not saying stuff your feelings. I'm saying feel your feelings. If it takes you a week to feel your feelings, then you can start your new beginnings the week after and just rewatch this video. But put down 2020 so that you can pick up 2021 and pour in the life that you need to make it happen. But you can only do it if you put down 2020, okay? Before I start these, I do want to reiterate how important it is for you to acknowledge all of the crappy crap feelings that you have about 2020. They are not wrong. You're important. You need to cry, cry. Slow down, take a breath, and yell at 2020 for whatever kind of crap you had to go through. And if you didn't have to go through any, good for you. You're probably a billionaire. I don't know why you're watching this. Actually, I do, because billionaires probably need to hear this the most. Because everybody thinks they don't need help because they're a billionaire. It's probably the opposite. Anyway, call me. So the first project that I have for you is cleanse. And I am not talking about cleaning your whole house. I'm not talking about cleaning a certain way. I am not talking about putting Florida water everywhere. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. I'm not talking about anything special. What I want you to do is choose one room. You can only pick one. You fail the project if you don't pick just one. I want for it to be a room where you spend most of your time because that is where you're going to have the cues that your brain needs to start fostering the concept of creating a new beginning. So, what I am trying to do with these practices is to basically help you work through the things that you need to work through, get the things that you want and need by programming your brain a different way. And one of the easiest ways to program your brain is programming it from the outside in. When you pick your room, I want for you to pick the one that you're in the most, if that's possible, if that seems too daunting. So if you think of that and you all of a sudden feel completely overwhelmed, that is not the room for you. You can pick the bathroom. You can pick the smallest space if your life is overwhelming in that way. And for a lot of us, it is. It is. We have been locked in our house for a year. Perform a quick clean. As you're cleaning, I want for you to pause and imagine all of the unwanted particles that you're collecting. So, like every speck of dust and dirt and debris. I want you to think and label these with your mind of the things that you no longer want to take with you from the year before. So so until today, anything that's happened that you don't want to take with you or anything that is part of your psyche that you want to cleanse, this is a get rid of energy that we're assigning to these particles. All the things that are standing in your way as you're cleaning. So you're literally cleaning away these things. And then after you've cleaned the space, if you can, take everything that can be transported directly to the trash outside of your house or a waiting area for the trash outside of your house as soon as you're finished cleaning. So it is very important not to put the bag down on your way out. Do not put the bag down on your way out. Okay? Take it straight out. Especially if you have kids and dogs and everything, you can do it. You can go straight out. I mean, if you really can't, like, that's okay. Nothing super bad is going to happen, but just the act of you taking the initiative to say, you know what, I matter in this moment. This is what needs to go, and you're using that momentum. Your brain's going to pick up on that. You're actually consciously programming your brain, and then your subconscious also picking up on that. So take it directly outside, get rid of it. When you take them outside and you get rid of them, just say something to them like, thanks for the lessons you taught me. It doesn't have to be out loud. I understand. Actually, this is probably a year to do it if you want to talk to yourself out loud because, you know, people stuck in their homes, they talk to themselves all the time or to their pets. So the mind magic of this exercise, aka the operant conditioning that's happening, is that when you come into your office after you have taken those things outside, you are now going to think about, like when you look at your desk, if you clean off your desk, you're going to think about what you did. You're going to feel good about it. You're going to feel good about that clean space. And that's going to go ahead and prompt your subconscious to think about all the things you just got rid of. The second thing is wear new clothes for one day. Normally it's supposed to be the day of the equinox, which would be today, but anytime within the next 7 days, pick a day and wear new clothing. Now, if you cannot afford new clothing, if you can't afford a whole new outfit, don't stress. If you can find a couple of bucks, then you can get a pair of socks or maybe even a scarf to wear for the day, depending on how cold it is outside, but it has to be a piece of clothing. What is going to happen is you preferably it would be something that you would want to wear over and over again, like something that you wear maybe even every day, once a week, something like that, or either something that you see all the time. So any of those could count. So it doesn't need to be like a prom dress because you're never going to wear that again. It needs to be like a cute dress that you'd wear out socially or something if you were going to get a dress or pants or whatever. When you put that clothing on that day, every time you see the clothing, every time you look down, every time you feel it, every time you smell it, even, you're going to be prompted to remember that this is a new day. You got a new piece of clothing. The magic is here, anything can happen, and you survived. If that's the only thing that really feels true for you, you're alive in this moment. If you look at your clothes and say, I'm alive in this moment, let's do a new thing, and that's it, that's good. So the mind magic is that you will see your clothing when you look in the mirror, when you look down, when you touch it, and your brain will recognize that it's new for about a day. And then the third thing is to plan something. You can take any seeds in your house, dirt from outside. You can repot a plant even or get a plant from a store. But it is important that you put the plant in new soil before you plant the seed. So if you have a seedling, if you have just some seeds in your hand and you've never planted anything before, it doesn't matter. Just take a minute, like put it in both hands. Take a minute and just tell it, like send your thought there, tell it, and send your heart there, like you're feeling. Like tell it what you'd like to grow. So for me, what I'm gonna say to one of mine, I'm probably gonna do more than one. I want for the number of times that I choose to be brave to grow. I want for the number of times I choose to be brave, which means vulnerable, to grow. That's what I'm going to say, at least for one of them. Now I feel like I got all this energy in my hands. I'm going to toss it over to some plants over here. Okay. But you can do simple things like you want to eat one more vegetable, or you want to be kinder to one person a day. It just depends on where you are. So with operant conditioning, we don't, as a behaviorist, when it is like math. So we meet whatever behavior it is where it is. There's no feeling, there's no ambiguity. You meet it where it is. So it's the same thing for you. And then we make really tiny changes to shape the behavior. With you, if you can barely even look look at someone's face, let's say you're really shy, we would not say smile at someone every time you go in the store from now until fall because that would be too many steps. I would say pick one person every time you go into the store and just look at their face. And it can be like a half a second. It can be like the fastest glimpse. Just look at their face. That's it. And then if you get comfortable with that, then we would move it up and we would say, all right, look at them, blink once, and then go about your day. And then the next time, once that's comfortable, then you add a smile and then you add a little wave. And then maybe you add something vocal. That could be something that has built up over years, or it could be something that could grow over the equinox period. It doesn't necessarily matter. The end doesn't matter because you've already started the beginning. So the start is the most important. The initiation of the behavior is the hardest part of the behavior. Being brave is only being brave while you're afraid. Once you're no longer afraid, it's not being brave anymore. So the hardest part is to start feeling vulnerable, right? So the initiation of it. And then once you've done that, you're in it. Being brave isn't as hard as it was to start to be brave. So we're working with this beginning momentum. Every time you look at the plant, I want you to be kind to the plant. And if you can't, if you planted a seed and you don't see it growing, just think, I know you want to grow, and that's all that matters. I know you want to grow, and that is all that matters. If for some reason your plant dies or your seed does not grow, that does not mean anything except one of your lessons is to rinse and repeat, which honestly, most people who are successful are not successful the first time. You don't build success by winning, you build success by losing. I know that sounds crazy, but the only way you can figure out how to shoot a basketball in a basket accurately over and over, even if you're the most talented person, is by figuring out how to miss it, right? Like you can't have one without the other. So it's the same thing with anything else. And the people with the most grit are the people who last. Okay? So, in fact, you should celebrate, which I know it sounds counterintuitive, but celebrate if you figured out that your seed's not going to grow. Celebrate because what you've been able to do and accomplish mentally is impeccable. And then you get a chance to start over. You get a chance to start over. I am going to slide a little bit of an extra component to this because I do think it'll make a big difference, but I don't want you to feel like you have to do this part. You are doing enough. You are enough. We have enough. You are enough. You're doing enough. You're smart enough. You're ambitious enough. You are healthy enough for this moment to be here. You are enough, exactly how you are. If you want to take the adventure and add to it, take a notebook and put a notebook beside the plant. Research how to take care of the plant, write it down in the notebook. Then write down the thing you want to grow. Research how to make it grow, write it down, and just see what it is. So you can research on the internet, read books, whatever you need to do to figure out how to care for yourself, how to grow whatever seed it is that you're planting. Like for me, it will be to finish reading Brene Brown's books that I start, and then I get excited, and then I go off into a project, and then it's a cycle. So the mind magic that you're pairing, when you write down the care plan, then every time you go to water the plant, I want you to write down the date and what you did to take care of it. And then you cannot leave, if you decide to do this, you cannot leave without writing what day it is and what you've done to take care of yourself. Notice I did not say what you have not done, what you did. If putting your pants on this morning was a big deal for you because you're dealing with depression, write that down, even though it seems unrelated to the goal, unless your goal is to stop being depressed. Find something to celebrate about yourself because that is really the ultimate way out. It is not ignoring your feelings, it is celebrating the fact that you recognize them and that if they're not good, they're shitty, but at least you know what to call it. That's to celebrate. That's something to celebrate. As a society, we don't label our feelings. In my opinion, that's why people get shot. Make sure that doing any of these, that these do not become something else that you use to punish yourself. Perfectionist, I'm looking at you. Anyone who has Capricorn rising in their chart, I'm talking to you. We all know you're a perfectionist. Okay, so make sure that this is really an act of kindness to yourself and to others, okay? So if you miss a day, if you don't hit your goal, if whatever, it's not about the end. Sometimes things are about the end. Like if you don't finish your project for work, yeah, that's a problem. But when you're doing self work and you've got a lot of stuff coming at you and you don't have a crystal ball and you don't know what's going to happen day after day, the best thing you can do is just get up and initiate the type of energy that you want to have, or the type of goal, or the type of skill. Initiate. It's all you have to do. And if you don't have the gumption to do that, thank yourself for realizing it and give yourself a break. It's okay to not want to do something. It is not okay to not admit that you don't want to do something to yourself. You are what drives me, and we're connected, and you're important. And remember, you are enough. Exactly the way you are. You are enough. For more information or related content, please subscribe to my website at shana@alia.com. If you'd like to learn more about my services or to book a session with me, please click on the link below. I look forward to reading your comments about how you decided to celebrate your new start this week. So type in your comments. I want to hear what you did, I want to hear what you did. Also, before I forget, leave the words spring equinox in the comment section below between now and April 1st, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. I will enter your username into the drawing for either customized moon intention water or one of my handmade bracelets. So until next time, let's inspire ourselves. Ew, armpits. Let's inspire ourselves. Until next time, let's inspire ourselves. Cheers. Happy New Year.